loud and heavy sound, shaking all the foundations of the very dusty battleground. Voltage is accelerating through the electric and the wire, setting all the silence of the universe on the purple fire. Take a chance and move it to the center of the danger zone. You are never gonna be standing in a very alone. Adrenaline is flooding through the system of the human mind, leaving all the logic and the heavy, heavy clouds behind. Hypersonic empire rising from the center of the soul, giving you the power and the absolute and full control. Beyond the reality where the zero and the one will blend, racing for the glory that is never gonna have an end. Digital explosion in the middle of the neon night. Everything is sparkling with a very special silver light. Iron wings are opening so wide and very, very grand, looking for the target in the middle of the desert land. Galactic vibration moving through the middle of the space, leaving every loser in a very dark and a big disgrace. Inside the vortex where the music is becoming the god, running on the path that the regular people never trod. Never looking backward at the ruins of the broken dream, following the sparkle of the very tiny golden beam. Harder than the diamond and as sharp as any blade. I will never ever be a little bit afraid. Ultimate ignition, dancing in the center of the flame, playing for the honor and the victory and not the game. Deep in the rhythm where the destiny is finally pinned, flying like an eagle on the power of the heavy wind. Feel the moonlight cutting like a very sharp sword. Listen to the power of the heavy magic chord. Black asphalt is screaming in the middle of the night. Everything is ready for the very final fight. Can you see the phantom moving in the neon haze? Getting lost forever in the electronic maze. Sparks are flying higher than the tower made of glass. Watching all the moments of the ancient glory pass. Eclipse swallowing the sun and every golden light. Darkness shaking up the rhythm of the velvet night. Revolution breaking through the wall of destiny. Victory writing down a brand new history. wheels never trod. Mercury is pulsing in the middle of a vein, washing out the memory of every kind of pain. Gravity pulling down the soul into the deep abyss. Secret hidden in the middle of a frozen kiss. Maximum pushing every limit of the shelter horizon, leaving all the shadows far behind. Never going backward to the places of the past, knowing that the fire is the thing that's going to last. Harder than the diamond and as sharp as any blade. I will never ever be a little bit afraid. Supernova burning with the passion of 1,000 stars. Crimson healing all the deep and daring heavy scars. Eternity flying through the center of the wind. Original vibration has been paid. Concrete jungle is sleeping in the poison mist. Nothing is real in the middle of a twisted wrist. Radar is tracking the heartbeat of a phantom ghost, running away from the danger of the lonely coast. Can you feel the acid in the rhythm of the soul? Losing the sense of the gravity and the control. Static is crawling like a spider on the electric skin. Now let the ceremony of the final race begin. Silver venom is running through the middle of the vein, washing the color of the city in the heavy rain, into the dimension where the logic is beginning to break, taking the glory for the very special life at stake. Liquid moonlight is melting on the engine hood. Nobody knows the reason and the bad or the good. Electronic wind is whispering a secret code, searching for the exit of the very narrow road. Digital labyrinth is opening the heavy black gate, fighting against the shadow of the very lonely fate. Beyond the boundary where the light is becoming so cold. Story of a legend that has never been once told. Never looking backward at the ruins of the broken dream, following the sparkle of the very tiny golden beam. Harder than the diamond and as sharp as any blade. I will never ever be a little bit afraid. Electric butterfly is dancing in the velvet dark, igniting the fire from the very tiny little spark, deep in the vibration where the destiny is finally penned, flying like an eagle on the power of the heavy wind. Music generation prompt. Blue horizon stretching to the edge of every dream, following the sparkle of a golden sunny beam. Wind is singing melodies against the silver glass, watching all the shadows of the heavy city pass. Heart is light and no the very sandy white. Everything is moving in the pure and natural light. Oxygen is filling up the corners of the soul, losing every fragment of the boring self-control. Why? High altitude, climbing to the top of every cloud. Pure white, screaming all the passion very loud. Ocean breeze, cooling down the fever in the mind. Horizon, leaving all the heavy clouds behind. Never felt this lightness in the middle of the race. Smile is slowly growing on the winner's happy face. Beyond the limit of the gravity and pain, I can hear the rhythm of the warm and gentle Infinity, stretching out the wings of burning fire. Top gear, moving to the level much, much higher. Stairway, leading to the center of the sun. Destiny, knowing that the glory has been won. 1, 2, 3, 4. Crimson thunderclap is crashing through the sky so wide. Nowhere left to run, nowhere left to even hide. Eurobeat is calling a relentless, powerful sound. Victory is waiting on this final battleground. Electric energy is flowing through my every vein, washing out the memory of all the yesterday's pain. Static in the atmosphere is burning like a flame, ready for the moment that will change the entire game. Flash of lightning hitting like a heavy silver hammer, breaking through the silence and the loud metallic clamor. Racing to the future with the speed of morning light, winning every battle in the middle of the night. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dust is kicking up behind the spinning rubber tires, burning with the passion of 1,000 ancient fires. Focus on the target with a very steady hand. Strongest of the warriors in all the lonely land. Heart of iron beating to the rhythm of the bass, leaving every rival in a very dark disgrace. Music is the magic that is making me so strong, singing for the glory with a very loud song. Never going back. Mercury tears are dripping from a frozen moon, waking up the monster in the middle of a cocoon. Oxygen is burning with a cold and emerald glow, waiting for the data of the universe to flow. Silicon pulses drumming in the hollow chest, looking for the answer in a never-ending quest. Geometric patterns moving through the empty space, searching for the ghost of a long-forgotten race. Transceiver, decoding all the whispers in the wind. Aquarius, where the ancient secret has been pinned. Cosmic dust scattered in the garden of the brain. Evolution rising through the artificial rain. Fluorescent memories are fading in the dark, searching for the heat of a very tiny spark. Iron flowers blooming on the edge of the abyss, sealed by the coldness of a cybernetic kiss. Supernova, exploding in the silence of the night. Galaxia, shining with a strange and neon light. Ozone layer, protecting all the fragile harmony. Dimension, crossing through the hyper-reality. Underneath the skin of the metallic simulation, feeling all the waves of a brand new generation. Beyond the logic of the zero and the one, I will find the place where the battle is begun. Singularity, breaking every law of physics now. Alchemy, showing all the hidden spirits how. Vibration, shaking up the logic of the mind. Destiny, leaving all the shadows far behind. Toxic rain is falling on the surface of the iron hood. Nobody is knowing what is bad and what is really good. Shadow of the wolf is hunting in the middle of the pass. Everything is breaking like a very thin and fragile glass. Can you hear the alarm ringing from the very deep abyss? Sealed with the power of a cybernetic and a frozen kiss. Voltage is increasing and the system is beginning to scream. Waking up the monster in the middle of a broken dream. Forbidden zone is opening the gate of a heavy destiny, searching for the answer of a very darkish mystery. Into the dimension where the gravity is melting down. town. Digital adrenaline is flooding through the rusted vein, washing out the color of the yesterdays and boring rain. Iron heart is clenching with the spirit of a lonely god, running on the path that the regular people never trod. Nuclear explosion shaking up the logic of the mind, as any blade. I will never ever be a little bit afraid. Ultimate ignition dancing in the center of the flame, playing for the honor and the victory and not the game. Deep in the vibration where the destiny is finally pinned, flying like an eagle on the power of the heavy wind. Is calling louder than the angry storm, changing all the patterns of a very classic form. Driving through the danger with the speed of pure desire, setting all the circuits of my burning heart on fire. Can you feel the tension growing in the neon light? Getting ready for the challenge of a midnight fight. Everything is sparking like a broken silver wire, taking every moment to a level much, much higher. Burning like a comet in the purple sky. Never let the passion of the spirit die. Breaking through the limit of the space and time. Climbing to the mountain that is so sublime. Tires screaming loudly on the very narrow road, carrying the weight of such a very heavy load. Looking at the finish line with very steady eyes, waiting for the glory of the ultimate big prize. Ignition, shaking all the mountains with a heavy sound. Ignition, flying like an eagle from the battleground. Ignition, power of the rhythm in the human soul. Ignition, taking every fragment of the full control. celebration, dancing in the middle of the flame, playing for the honor and the victory and not the game. Across the horizon where the destiny is finally pinned, flying like an eagle on the power of the heavy wind. Silver rain is falling on the surface of the quiet sea, searching for the person that I really, really want to be. Blue light is reflecting in the middle of the misty glass, watching all the shadows of the very lonely city pass. Can you hear the echo of a very sad and lonely song? Searching for the place where the true and honest hearts belong. Even if the world is ending in a very coldish way, I will keep on running to the limit of the light of day. Moonlight Adriatic blowing like a wind of the memory, washing all the sorrow of a very darkish tragedy, running through the vortex where the time is beginning to bend, waiting for the signal of a very long and the lonely end. Neon tears are melting on the dirty and the iron street. Everything is moving to the heavy and the steady beat, looking for the exit of the very dark and narrow maze, getting lost forever in the middle of the purple haze. Velvet desperation shining like a very smallish spark, lighting up the corners of the very heavy and the dark, inside the frequency where the light is becoming so bright, winning every battle in the center of the velvet night, never looking backward at the ruins of the broken past, knowing that the melody is going out to finally last, harder than the diamond and as sharp as any blade. I will never ever echoing through the iron street. Ghostly memories are moving to the heavy beat. Crystal silence breaking like a window in the sky. Watching all the artificial birds begin to fly. Paradox, swallowing the logic every day. Watching all the seconds melt away. Singing in the center of the deep abyss, sealed with a cold and electric underneath the surface of the hyper-reality, flickering reflections of the true mentality. Beyond the binary of the right and of the wrong, I will find the frequency where I can finally belong. come on, come on, come on. Ow! Flames are rising higher in the middle of the fight, burning like a meteor in the dead of night. Clashing steel is ringing like a heavy metal bell, facing every demon coming from the depths of hell. Power in my muscles growing stronger every breath, dancing on the edge between the life and sudden death. Sparking electronic lightning through the dusty air, nothing in this world can give me even one small scare. Thundering encounter crashing like a tidal wave, only for the warriors who are being very brave. Never backing down until the final siren blows. Watch the way the crimson fire within me always grows. Dust is swirling crazy in the center of the ring, waiting for the moment that the victory will bring. Shadows of the rivals disappear into the gray, pushing past the limits of a lonely yesterday. Starlight celebration shining on the winner's face, leaving all the losers in a very cocked disgrace. Eurobeat is pumping through the veins of every man, catch the golden future any way that you still can. Broken roads are aching, but the spirit never dies. Look at all the passion reflecting in my eyes. Final blow is coming like a hammer from the sky. I will be the hero who will never have to die. Victory is calling, screaming out my ancient name, paying for the glory, not just for a stupid game. Music is the weapon that will lead me to the top. Once the battle starts, it is never going to stop. Pushing through the heavy wall of silver sound, lifting off the tired and the dusty ground.